Taped from New Jersey, it's the SNL Nerds, the show where two comics from New Jersey nerd out about Saturday Night Live. I'm your co-host, John Trumbull.
And I'm your co-host, Darren Patterson.
Hi, co-host Darren Patterson.
Hey, co-host John Trumbull. How goes it?
Oh, just peachy keen. I mean, my life, I'm like the point in the John Cusack movie where he's like standing in the rain. That's where I'm at right now. Oh, boy. Emotionally, as a person. How about you, my friend?
I'm not in the rain. It's nice and dry where I'm at.
Yay!
I'm doing okay. Oh dear. Now I feel like
you're indoors.
I am indoors while you stand out in the rain. I should let you in, but I don't know.
But I don't know. Anyway, so yeah. But other than that, yeah, peachy keen.
Yeah, it'll. Hey, man, it's always darkest before the dawn. And all those other things that people say to lift up your spirits when they don't know what to say.
I feel like I did something now. Yay!
Yeah. I helped. I gave them some advice I read from a fortune cookie.
I gave a big platitude. Yes.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part. Yes. But hey, we're back. We've got a new episode of SNL to talk about this week, and we just decided hey, let's talk about season 48, episode 2, with Brendan Gleeson hosting, Willow musical guesting. This is the episode from October 8th, 2022, in case you're listening to this at some time in the future.
Yes. In the year 3000. Oh, God.
Wow. Okay.
I used to be able to do it. I swear to you. But
all right. No, I believe you.
A father time is not kind to my pipes.
Yeah, tough to hit those high notes. I get it. I get it.
Oh, boy.
Get it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Brendan Gleeson, very interesting choice for a host.
Off-the-wall choice for a host. I'm still not entirely clear why he was hosting. He has a new project coming up.
Yes.
The Banshee thing.
Yes, the Banshees of Inisherin, I believe. It's the second film he's done with Colin Farrell.
Right, and it's the same writer as in Bruges, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who he's also been in
Martin McDonagh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a very Irish lad, Mr.
Very
Brendan
Irish.
Gleeson.
Extremely Irish, and but I enjoyed that. That was cool.
Yes. Aaron Gobra.
Yeah. That was cool. So
yeah.
I kind of want to ask your overall thoughts about the episode, but I guess we'll kind of gradually discover that as we go.
I can give you a bit of a spoiler teaser.
All right. I will say right off the bat, I thought this was a big step up from last week.
Agreed. Better than last week.
Definitely. I mean, not a high bar to clear, but definite improvement over last week's show. I feel like they got their groove back a little bit.
The bar was on the ground. This one was above ground.
It was above ground. You had to leave ground to clear this bar.
Yes, it was like a pool in the Midwest. It's above ground.
Yeah. Yes. So nice going, SNL.
You did it.
Yay.
You cleared the low bar.
You cleared the low bar. You got two podcasters on your side, back on your side. So
thumbs up.
That was nice to see.
Absolutely. All right. So hey, let's do it. Let's get into this episode and chit and chat all about it.
All right, let's do it. We start out with the cold open, as SNL often does. This was called "So You Think You Won't Snap," and totally unpaved territory for SNL. It's a game show cold open.
Whoa.
I feel like they're just taunting us at this point.
I think so.
I'm like, do we need to stage an intervention for SNL? Because I feel like they officially have a problem now.
I think at this point, yeah. Again, last week, they did this whole meta cold open where they were pointing out the flaws that, podcasters like us have been, and fans have been talking about with their cold opens, how they're so formulaic. And so, again, I foolishly thought that meant, they're aware of their problems and they're aware of the traps that they fall into. So now this is a new season. They're not going to repeat we won't get fooled again. They're not going to repeat those same mistakes this season.
Just to review, last week we had cold open. You liked it a little more than I did, as I recall. And then their first show, their first sketch out of the gate was a game show sketch, and then this one they combine those two and they do a game show cold open. I was okay, all right. I mean, you're asking a lot, SNL. You're asking a lot. I mean, and look, a lot of the game show sketches are pretty good, and I see why you do it because it gives you an instant structure and all that. And
yeah, maybe they have like a high success rate. Maybe they, which I guess they kind of do.
but you want to see a few shows go by before they go running back to the game show sketch once again. You know,
Yeah, space it out.
space it out. Just do like keep it to like 5 or 6 game show sketches this season.
Yeah, and then like after a few, after like a game show or two, you take a little break,
Yeah,
and then you have another one as like as a treat to yourself. Just
wean
space it out.
yourself a little bit. Yeah, treat it like that Ben and Jerry's, that pint of Ben and Jerry's that you pick up.
Yeah, it'll be treat yourself, but don't make it a normal thing, or else you'll get bloated and gassy, and then you have the runs.
Exactly. What Ben and Jerry's gives you the runs?
It does. Uh,
Wow. Okay.
so you think you won't snap? Let's talk about that.
All
Let's
right.
see.
All right. So you think you won't snap? We have Bowen as the host. He's Morgan Freegirl, getting a little gag in there, a little funny name action,
Free girl. I see what you did there.
and he's got 4 people on there, and it's just we're gonna tell you about insane news stories, and we'll see how insane you get. And we got Heidi and Chloe and Keenan and one of the new cast members, Devin Walker.
Right. And yeah, the premise is super simple here. Like it's literally
Almost to the point of being vague.
yeah.
Because it's another one of the cold opens. Like we're gonna mention as many news stories as we possibly can. Yay!
Yeah, and it's like and then yeah, so basically Bowen's the host, Heidi comes up and he just literally just reads what's going on in the news today about the issues with the Ukraine, how close we are to a nuclear Armageddon.
Right.
And he just keeps reading it until Heidi basically snaps and has to have a drink of wine.
Yeah, and she's been sober for like 15 years, she says, and then
Yes.
she snaps and she falls off the wagon and she's like, "Mama missed you."
Right.
With Chloe, she's playing a character named Kayla, and they bring Sarah Sherman on as a Frontier Airlines flight attendant because apparently they've gotten slapped a lot.
I didn't even know that was a thing. Like I have heard
Either. I guess I'm not keeping up with my viral videos enough, which is fine, but yeah, okay.
I had heard like in generalities, airline workers are getting a lot of flack because I don't know, just because airlines aren't running as well as they used to, so a lot of customers are getting very irate.
People are freaking out on airplanes more still. It's much more of a high stress situation in a post pandemic world. I think most airlines have lifted their restrictions, though. I don't know. I haven't flown since before the pandemic, so I don't know what it's like out there and how insane it is. But I thought that was neat that they brought on Sarah and they were like, "Hey, you can slap her and assault her, and it's okay." In the context of a game show. That sounds really wrong when I put it that way.
Yeah, you really need to walk that back a bit and rephrase it.
It's in a comedy sketch, so it's totally okay. She wasn't really slapped and assaulted.
She likes it.
Whoa!
Oh, who said that?
Talking about walking things back, my friend.
Who said that? That wasn't me. So we've been hacked.
Darren coming in hot.
I keyed.
Keenan is the third contestant. Dale, he sweeps a table as soon as Elon Musk's name is even mentioned. I thought that was cute.
Yeah, I thought it was a little weird because didn't they just have Elon Musk on last season, and now
They did, but it's the thing they did with the former guy too, where it's like we have him on the show and host the show, and thereby sort of endorse and normalize him. And then we're just going to bash him every week thereafter and sort of, yeah, maybe just not have him on at all.
Maybe. How about that?
don't normalize horrible people like this.
So it's a wild, crazy notion, but it's just crazy enough to work.
Anyway, I'm saying I like the gag of him freaking out as soon as Elon Musk's name was even mentioned, and
Yeah,
apparently
yeah, that's
Elon
true.
Musk is buying Twitter again.
Right. That was. I will admit, like I didn't like. Part of me was like, oh well, they're trashing Elon Musk, even though they had him as stunt casting. But at the same time, Keenan freaking out is pretty funny.
Yeah. No, I thought it was cute. I thought it was cute. I'll give that that.
Right.
And lastly, we had Devin Walker as a college student. And I forget what they asked him, but they were like, "We've rigged up this iron. It's piping hot. If you want to put an iron on your hand," and then he like puts it up to his face.
Yeah, I mean, I think they mentioned things like how 401ks are down
Oh yeah,
21%.
yeah. And he was like, "I don't have one, so it doesn't concern me." Ha.
Yeah, and then I think they also mentioned about Kanye West and
Oh yeah,
uh,
and they keep on hitting the Kanye thing, and he's like, "Oh, you're gonna keep hitting me with the Kanye stuff." He's like, "I still like his music," and just kind of pointing out the insane stuff Kanye is doing, which I don't think I'd heard of until the cold open.
yeah,
Uh,
I think I mean that's that I knew about just because I'm down with the kids. I know what the hip
I will
kids
say
are.
a lot of this week's show made me feel like very out of the loop with pop culture right now. I'm just
I
like, am I getting too old? Am I out of SNL's demographic now?
I
Or
mean, yeah, I mean, there's one sketch definitely that I had no idea what they were talking about. Like,
yeah,
we'll get to it, but we talked about
yeah,
it
we'll
before we
get to
got
that
to the
very soon.
yeah,
Um, I liked him putting the iron to his face. I wish they'd worked up like some sort of fake steam for the iron. I think that would have been a little funnier
yes, absolutely,
visually. This was fine.
yeah. I mean, overall, I thought it was okay. I thought, I kind of wish we were. It's weird because like there aren't too many like jokes in it. Like it's
No.
literally just Bowen saying what happened this past week.
Yeah,
And I guess because real life is so insane, it's hard to parody. They think just saying what happened will be funny enough. That's the joke. But
I'm also I'm I mean, there was some funny stuff in this cold open. I am just getting a little tired of SNL's like things are so insane right now, and it's all we can do to just barely hold it together.
yeah, they did that a lot with like when Kate was on, and
That we've done a lot of this. Like it feels like all through the Trump years, and especially ever since COVID.
yeah,
And I get that that's like the vibe of a lot of it, but it's like I have that in my life. I don't really need more of that from my sketch comedy show, you know?
yeah, exactly. We know things are stressful. Like I mean,
Yeah,
they mentioned things like Herschel Walker, and of course the Mario Brothers trailer was a big deal that
yeah,
angered a lot of Gen Xers and Gen Zers. And
right.
yeah, life is
Isn't he
ins-
supposed to be Italian? Isn't that the whole point? Okay, all right.
I yeah. I mean, I get it, but like, I mean, I enjoy. Look, I like Mario. I like playing Mario just as much as the next bloke, but
Hmm.
it's not enough to send me spiraling into depression if he doesn't have an Italian voice. I know it's a hot take, but
Yeah,
I'm not a Mario purist, but
yeah,
whatever. Um, but yeah, like I felt the same way. Like them just sort of saying the things day to day, and the response being, "That's crazy. That's things are crazy," and then
yeah.
that just being the joke. That's it. It's like I think we need a little bit
Yeah.
more here.
I feel like the world is on fire, and I'm freaking out about it. I want him to not necessarily go deeper, but just have another take on it. I'm just sick of that take.
Yeah, agreed.
I'm sick of everything is crazy and I'm just barely holding it together. You know?
Yeah, agreed. We need more. We need something else, like something like a fresher take on it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it just feels that's been the take since like March of 2020. So
Yeah, because I'm one step closer to the edge, and I'm about to break.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
So,
the anthem.
um, yeah. Not too much else to say about this cold open. It was fine. I didn't dislike it. I just want to be clear on that. I just
Yeah,
felt I just felt very been there, done that. You know?
yes, absolutely. Point spot on. I was like, all right, we've done this before, but okay.
Yeah, it's take the training wheels off, guys.
Yeah, that's right. Time to ride that bike like a big boy.
Yeah, yeah. So again, again with the new opening, 2 weeks running.
That's right. We're still doing it, baby.
There was a little gag that they had in there that I totally missed last week, where Andrew Dismukes is like stealing money out of a tip jar,
Oh,
which I liked. I like that they when they stick little gags into the intro.
Andrew, you scamp.
Yeah, I thought that was cool, and yeah,
Yeah, it took me a while to realize that, like, oh, they're all sort of in this big hotel, and like they're all kind of
yeah,
doing their own thing, and it's
and one cast member, I forget which one it was, who just plops on a bed.
oh, that's Punky.
That's Punky. Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, that was cute.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Solid open. I know a lot of people are very kind of turned off by like the new logo. I don't mind it. Like I think it's interesting. But
I find the new logo just really bland. I just don't think
mm,
there's anything to it.
interesting. All right, I can see that.
It's just kind of a dullish typeface, and yeah, if they change that around before the season is out, I would not mind that.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
from your lips to Lauren's ears.
yeah, and Lauren is a close listener of this podcast, as we know.
Hi, Lauren.
Hi, Lauren. How you doing? All right. So next we had the monologue from this week's host, Mr. Brendan Gleeson,
Mm.
and he comes out and he's like, "Oh yes, I'm that fellow you sort of know from that thing that you saw once upon a time, but you can't quite put your finger on what it was."
Yeah,
Uh,
he mentions his like the movies he was in Bruges, Braveheart. He mentions, of course, he was Mad Eye Moody in Harry Potter, which
yeah.
got a big laugh. And of course, he mentioned, I'm sure a lot of you haven't seen me in the film, the Joel Cohen's Tragedy of Macbeth.
Mm-hmm.
And we said, but you should watch it. It's really good. And
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't even know he was in that. But yeah, that's the Macbeth movie that's on Apple TV. That was, I think that was done by one of the Coen brothers.
One of the Coen brothers. Yes.
Yeah, Denzel Washington's in it, and he's in it too. So.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah. I mean, he's someone I've always at least vaguely known. So yeah, he's got a very recognizable face, and he's a very hey, it's that guy character actor.
Yeah, I think I've confused him with like Ray Winstone on a number of occasions.
There is a resemblance. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that definitely, definitely.
Absolutely.
But he seemed very charming. He seemed very nice. He seemed very personable. And he comes out and he's like, "I'm going to play a song on my mandolin." And
Hey,
we have just a nice Irish fellow playing tunes on the mandolin, that is exactly the vibe that I wanted for this week. It's a stressful world. I just want a nice Irish fellow playing tunes on the mandolin.
yeah, I would have liked him to like worn one of those big Irish sweaters that you see, and maybe like one of those
With the knit
Newsies
sweater,
caps.
sure, like what like Chris Evans wears in Knives Out.
Hey,
Yeah,
and just having a nice point,
yeah,
playing the mandolin, boy. Oh.
yeah. But it was nice. It was just reassuring. It was relaxing, and it gave me a good feeling going forward.
Yeah, like he was like tuning it up a little bit in the beginning, and
Yeah.
I think he mentioned that he mentioned like a banjo player from the Dubliners at some point.
Mhm.
It's very Irish.
Yeah.
And like yeah, he was like kind of strumming the mandolin, telling jokes in between, kind of like Jack Benny style, or even like Zach
Mhm.
Galifianakis. It was
Yeah.
like a nice little way to start the show,
Well,
and then
I kind of envy the SNL people. They got to hang with this guy for a week, and he seems like a good hang.
oi,
Yeah.
and out of nowhere he starts talking about Colin Farrell because they're in a movie together,
Yeah.
the Banshees of Inisherin, or however you say it.
Uh-huh.
And then it's like, oh, it's a movie about two mates but one's a little too needy. And don't mind telling you, it's a little bit close to home because Colin Farrell's a little needy himself there.
Okay.
And
Are we
then,
going to do this Irish accent for the entire episode?
not bad, right?
No, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it'll wear a little thin.
All right, I'll stop.
Okay.
Okay. I thought I nailed it.
You did. You did.
Listeners, let me know. Like, is it as good as my English accent, or worse? Or let me know. Or should I just not do any of these at all? Let me know. And yeah, out of nowhere, we get a nice little cameo from Mr. Colin Farrell himself. There, ho ho!
Yeah. He comes out with like this big Hercule Poirot style mustache. Which he then quickly peels off, and it's like, oh, it's like, oh, okay, so why did you have that? I don't know. That's very random.
It was very rare. I think the gag was maybe he was trying to come in as and be like in disguise. So
It's incognito. Okay.
yeah, so maybe Brendan wouldn't recognize him, but Brendan immediately is like, "Oh,
The
hey,
audience
Colin."
recognize. Yeah, I don't know. But they
I,
sing a song together, and it was
yeah,
nice. It
nice
was
little
cute.
Irish shanty or
Yeah,
whatever.
and they seem to have a nice friendship, which is
Yeah,
nice.
they seem to be like best mates.
Yeah.
All right. Now for I'm done. I'm done. I'm done.
Okay. All right. That's good.
I'm sorry. It's fun to do accents.
Okay. All right.
Accents are fun. I'll say it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they're fun for me.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Well, I mean, as long as we're enjoying ourselves,
Yeah.
that's the.
Yeah. I'm having a good time. I don't know about the listeners.
All right. So, shall we move on to the first sketch?
Yes. Overall, a nice little pleasant monologue. I thought
It was a
overall.
nice monologue. I'm glad they didn't really rely on many of the monologue crutches that they have. We didn't have any home movies of Brendan Gleeson. He didn't talk about like his connection with the show and things like that. Like most anything can get played out if you repeat it too much, like game show sketches or some of the monologue crutches or Irish accents.
I
Just
see what you did
just
there.
name three random examples.
I see what you did there. Okay. I'll take that hint, sir.
Okay.
Uh yeah, so first sketch of the evening. The Try Guys.
The Try Guys, a thing where the sketch started, and I was like, "Oh fuck, am I gonna have to like pause this and just Google what the deal is with the Try Guys?" Because I knew the Try Guys was a thing that was trending on Twitter.
Right.
I saw that it was trending. I saw that there were tweets about it. I did not glean enough of these tweets to know what the deal was, and I was not curious enough to actually Google it or even click on the trending topic and
Same.
see what the deal was.
Same.
Fortunately, the sketch explained the basics, which
Uh,
was nice.
yeah. For those who don't know about the scandal or even know what the Try Guys are, because I literally had no idea until
Same.
a week ago. I'm the same thing as you. Like I saw it was trending like a week ago. Oh my god, the Try Guys, the Try Guys. I was like,
Yeah.
what is that? And like I hoped that SNL didn't do a sketch on it or talk about it because that means I'd
I
have to
had
look
the
it up.
sinking feeling they were going to do a sketch on it, and I was like, should I research the Try Guys just so I'm prepped going in? I didn't bother because
No,
I
yeah.
have a life, but I mean, I have what can legally be called a life.
Yeah, and yeah. So for those that don't know, the Try Guys are these sort of four guys. That I believe they started at BuzzFeed,
Okay.
and their whole thing is that they try things. They try everything and anything or on YouTube or for their viewers, and like that's their whole brand. And they were able to build up enough of a following and build their brand enough that they kind of have their own YouTube channel now, and they're able to have like little spin-off shows and like they have like this whole thing about just trying
It's
things.
like this big empire that they've
Yes,
built
the
out of
tr-
this.
the Try Guy Empire, and apparently what happened is one of the guys, I believe his name is Ned, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken, he was caught having relations with a woman other than his wife.
Apparently, they were caught kissing at a concert,
Mm,
and apparently, he's had this ongoing affair with this woman for like I think a year or more.
mm,
And the other three Try Guys have denounced him and they've fired him from the company.
right.
I don't know if they fired the woman from the company as well.
I don't know. Yeah, because the woman it was somebody that worked with them, like who
She
worked.
from like a subsidiary.
Yeah, so like
Yeah.
basically, I think technically Ned was kind of her boss, which makes it a little bit more
Right.
uh seedy. And
Problematic power dynamics and yeah, all that.
yeah, and also like I think the thing that makes it not great is because Ned what like kind of branded himself as like the happy married family man. It's like, oh, I love my
That's
wife so much,
right.
I love my wife, and now this thing really tarnished the brand. So like once the Try Guys found out about it, they immediately cut him out. They like edited him out of like future videos, and I think maybe a few videos they already did.
Uh huh.
So like
Yeah,
he's
I'm
like
sure they have a backlog of stuff.
Yeah, like well, either way, he's like persona non grata, and they did this video explaining it. And I think one of the guys, Eugene, who Bowen plays, he's like looks like visibly upset and shaken by all this. So it was a big
They're still
deal.
processing it, I bet.
Yes. So it's like a
Whenever something heinous comes out about like your co-host and something, it's always like, well, we're still processing this,
yeah,
and then you don't have to make any sort of big statement if you're still processing about it. Like when Matt Lauer's all his stuff came out at the Today Show. I remember on the Today Show, they Hoda and
what Katie.
Savannah
All right.
Guthrie,
All right.
like, oh, we're still processing this, and and that's the way you sort of push off having to make a statement or having to have a big opinion about it.
It's pretty smart.
Yep. So if anything heinous comes out about you, I will just come on this podcast and I'll be like, I'm still processing this. I don't know what to say.
Perfect.
Yes.
I mean, nothing will. That's what I meant.
Nothing will. Nothing heinous.
Whew.
Nothing heinous will ever come out about either one of us.
Nope.
You can bet money on that.
That's right. I burned all the evidence years ago.
They're never going to play this tape in another context whatsoever. Yay!
Yeah, that's right. You'll never find that body.
We're never going to do anything wrong.
Nope. Nuh-uh. All those people were paid off handsomely.
Well, fortunately, like you and I are both of an age where we did all our heinous drunken shenanigans before an age of social media. So
thank the Lord.
Yay us.
Yeah, we had the foresight to be born in the 70s.
Yep.
We saw what was coming.
We found the one good thing about being Gen X.
Yay.
So, okay. So this sketch is on the whole Try Guys controversy. So we have Ego as a CNN anchor, and then Brendan Gleeson as a White House correspondent. And he starts out reporting on a Ukraine story, but he neglects it in favor of reporting on the Try Guys.
Right.
And Ego's all just like, wait, what is this? What's going on? Huh? What? And we have Bowen, Mikey, and Andrew Meeks as the three remaining Try Guys.
Right. And then they're giving the statement about how upset they are. And it's very much like, if you've seen the video that the Try Guys put out, it's pretty much like almost beat for beat exactly what they did. They're dressed exactly the same. They look exactly like the Try Guys.
Yeah.
And
I didn't watch the real video, but I did just see a screen cap on Twitter comparing the two and complimenting the SNL costume department for matching their outfits so exactly.
Right.
So nice job, SNL costume department. Yay.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I didn't take too many notes about this, just because it does seem like this is a type of sketch where you really need to know about the Try Guys and have seen the video in order for it to really resonate with you.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like the sketch did a good job of bringing me up to speed on the basics. I didn't feel the need to pause the sketch halfway through and Google the Try Guys. I was like, okay, I sort of know what this is about.
Yeah.
It was fine. I thought everybody performed it well.
Yeah, I think so too. I thought it was all right. I did notice like a few times where, because I guess the people in the audience got it more than I did. Like they were getting like really big laughs. Even a few times I saw that Mikey and Andrew almost broke a few times.
Yeah. There's some grins and giggles. Yeah, it feels like this is getting like a lot of traction online on YouTube and on Twitter because the Try Guys story is so big.
Right.
And a lot of people are calling out SNL and saying like, oh, you have a very bad take on this because like in the sketch they say like, oh, they say it was a consensual relationship, and they're kind of more dunking on the three guys left. They're dunking on their video.
Yeah.
Dunking on the guy who had the affair. And people are like, that's a bad look, SNL.
Yeah.
And I see that. I don't know. I'm just so not invested in the story. I don't have a horse in this race.
Yeah, I really am just like, all right, I see what you're saying. I don't really care enough to really be like enraged by it. But I see what you're saying. Yeah, people have been hurt, and that's unfortunate. But yeah, at the same time, at
the same time, just still not invested in the story.
Yes, absolutely.
As a person.
Yeah. And as far as sketches go, I thought it was like okay and
But I guess it was a big story this week, so it
Yeah,
was
so
something that SNL was kind of expected to comment on.
yeah, I hear you. But like, I mean, they didn't even have too that hot a. Well, I mean, I guess I don't know. They didn't really have too much to say about it, really.
No, not really. It was kind of this is the thing that happened sketch.
Yes, this is the thing that happened, and it's trending now. So let's do it so we can get some likes and
Yeah,
get our name out in the viral Twitter sphere.
yeah. Even if it's prompting more mock outrage and some genuine outrage, I suppose. I suppose there's some genuine outrage mixed in there too.
Yeah, some genuine outrage, some mock outrage. It's all outrage these days. That's where
Yeah.
the real money's at.
Yep. Yep.
It's
So
yeah. So far I'm like, oh, okay, eh.
yeah, I mean this one, it was good for what it was.
Yeah, yeah, for what it was okay.
Yeah, it wasn't. I will say at this point in the show, I have not seen anything heinous yet. It's still a notch or two above last week's show, which I thought was just pretty disappointing across the board.
Agreed.
Yeah. Okay, so next we have pre-tape. This is new cast advice, and it's featuring our 4 new cast members of SNL.
Yeah, we got yeah, like people like basically all the new cast members are being interviewed, asking about what advice they got. What how is it your first few weeks here at SNL?
Mm-hmm.
So we have Michael Longfellow,
Yes.
Devin Walker,
Mm-hmm.
Marcelo Hernandez,
I've heard of him.
and yeah, it's pretty good. Like it's basically like them saying, yeah,
And,
really,
and Molly Carey.
of course, Molly Carey. Well, that's the big twist
Yes.
because like it's basically
We want to make sure we mention them as well.
yeah, yes, absolutely, absolutely.
And we also want to make sure that we use Molly's proper pronouns.
Wow, look at you being all well.
Well, this is something I want to try and be really conscious of, and I know I'm going to slip up at least a time or two. But
We're trying here, man. But dude, you're doing the work, and I applaud that, sir.
I really, and I liked how they in this sketch they just sort of slipped it in where Molly was called her at one point, and see, there I go, and Molly says, "Well, it's actually they," but I figured it wasn't a good moment to have a big pronoun sketch discussion. And I
Right.
thought that's a great way to just slip it in and get it in early in one of the first things you're seeing in on the show.
Yeah.
I
So
I thought that was well done.
right. So basically, like, it's all the new cast members telling about the advice they got from Lorne. Michael Longfellow says, "Yeah, they told me to, hook up with, get with a writer that knows my voice.
Right.
My creepy
Don't
voice."
don't freak out if you're not on the show too much the first couple weeks. Let the audience discover you and all this. And then we go to Molly, and Molly's like, Lauren comes to me and says, "You're going to kill Vladimir Putin."
The only reason you're on the show is to kill Vladimir Putin. And then he hands me this gun and he says, "Don't worry, the serial numbers have been scratched off. It's never going to be traced back to us." And I'm like, us?
And Molly goes into this whole long story about how they're spirited away to go on this secret mission to kill Vladimir Putin, and Kelly Ripa's there for some reason, which was a very nice random touch.
Yeah, she said she got a call from John Kerry at 4 a.m. saying, "Can you be at Lauren's house right now?"
Yeah, and pack and what do I pack? And then we're cutting back to the other 3 new cast members saying just much more typical things. Although Marcelo is making jokes about how he's being very underserved and ignored, and that was another nice sort of like B-level gag in this sketch, I thought.
Yeah, like that was a nice little running gag to have. Like Marcelo was getting advice from Lauren saying, "Hey, don't try to do too much your first year. Don't even write a sketch until like Christmas,
Yeah.
or don't even try to write or pitch ideas. Don't expect anyone to get you a computer or anything like that, or an
Right.
office or an ID to get in the building. Just
Right.
just kick back and just stay at home."
Which I liked. I liked that the sketch wasn't just about the killing Vladimir Putin thing. I liked that we also had this person is being underserved. I like that it had 2 things going on, but it didn't get muddled.
Right. And I also liked how like the other cast members kind of also worked their way into Molly's because Molly has a very different experienced than what everybody else had. I believe at one point uh, they talked to Devin, and he mentioned something about Molly and to Lorne, and he said like then Lorne just kind of stared off into the distance, and he said, "If we ever see Molly again."
Yeah, yeah. It's I like the concept of Lorne as being the secret taskmaster doing a Chuck Barris espionage thing on the side,
Yeah,
where he's secretly sending cast members on espionage missions to assassinate
oh,
world leaders.
dude.
Um,
Yeah, dude. Confessions of a Dangerous Mind, such an underrated movie. I like that movie so much.
yeah, yeah. So I really like this. I think I love this. Quite
Yeah.
frankly, I thought
No.
that was great. I thought this was sketch of the night. This
Uh,
was like firing on all cylinders.
Agreed. Sketch of the night, hands down. I was actually kept like really wrapped up in Molly's story. I wanted to hear more about. I was like, then what happened? And then what happened? And like damn it. And Molly really sells it too. Like I saw people online kind of comparing their energy to like Melissa McCarthy or Kate McKinnon, and
Yeah,
I could
I
definitely
heard a Chris Farley comparison.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
so yeah, uh, Molly did a really nice job of establishing themselves like out of the gate with this. I feel like we have a persona to attach to Molly now.
Absolutely. I mean, after this, I would really like to see more of Molly and sketches and see what they can do.
Yeah,
Whew.
uh, Molly's got like a cool vibe, and it seems like a neat vibe that is not shared by anybody else in the cast currently. I
Right.
feel like there's a little overlap with Sarah, and I know those two are buddies. So yeah, but it was really cool. So definitely check that out. It's a pre-tape called New Cast Advice.
Yeah. Best
Uh,
sketch of the night, hands down.
sketch of
Absolutely.
the night. Sketch of the night. Very very funny stuff.
Yeah.
So
And at the end of the sketch, we learned Keenan killed Osama bin Laden.
yeah, and he's just like, well, what did I kill Osama bin Laden for? Again, just a nice punch at the end. It's tough to end things. I thought this had a pretty strong ending too. So yeah, I was pretty impressed with this.
Yeah, this was solid.
This was solid. Next, we have a sketch called Blonde, which is playing off the new uh, Anna de Armas movie that is on Netflix, which is based on a Joyce Carol Oates book about Marilyn Monroe.
Right. It's kind of I haven't seen it, but I
I haven't
heard
watched it yet. I'm planning to watch it, but first I have to start up my Netflix
mm,
subscription again. It's a whole thing.
it's a
A
whole
whole
thing.
thing. I can't. I got sick of the Netflix. I was like, I'm not paying this much for this little entertainment. They've probably stacked up enough things that I'm gonna get it back for like a month or two.
Yeah, I hear you.
That's the plan.
That's the plan.
That's the plan. And I'm still getting those emails saying like, "Oh, come back. You will only have to pay this much." And I'm like, okay, well, I can do that for a month or two.
Give us your money again, please.
Yes, yes. I'm like, I'll watch that. I'll watch the new Patton Oswalt. I'll watch. There's some show that I want to check out. I can't remember what it is, but yeah.
Okay.
But
All right.
anyway, I'm planning to watch this Marilyn Monroe thing, but I haven't yet.
Right. And yeah, so basically it's called Blonde. It's this sketch has Chloe as Marilyn Monroe,
Mm-hmm.
James Austin Johnson.
It's the Marilyn as about to shoot the "Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend" number from Gentlemen Prefer Blondes.
Yes, absolutely. Ooh, very good.
Yeah,
And James Austin Johnson in this sketch trying to, coax Marilyn, to get out on the set. Marilyn's very upset and down to the
he's doing
dumps.
that old time 1940s voice.
Oh, James Austin Johnson. He's a real humdinger.
We're gonna bring in a couple people and they're gonna read you your fan mail.
Yeah,
What do you think of that, huh?
they're gonna really ring your bells there, Charlie.
Yeah,
See, accents are cool. They're
they
great
are
to
fun.
do.
They are fun. I am a sucker for doing a 1940s voice. So
No, I know. Hey, it sounds a lot like John Mulaney. They're fun to do.
they are fun to do. They are fun to do. Yes.
Okay, so yeah, so Marilyn is very upset down in the dumps. So
Mm-hmm.
James Austin Johnson's character wants to, her to hear the fan mail she's been getting from her fans. So they have in walks Heidi Gardner and our host Brendan Gleeson, both dressed
Yes.
up as 1940s women. Brendan Gleeson,
with a full beard,
full beard.
full white beard. Uh, and they're dressed up as, I think they're cleaning ladies. I think they said.
No, I think they're like receptionists or like
Receptionists. Okay. Yeah.
or people that work in the office.
It's the 50s, so I know they're working in some demeaning occupation.
Absolutely.
Because we haven't figured out that women are good yet.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Well, it's the 1950s. Am I wrong?
We just said we wouldn't have anything that could incriminate us.
I'm saying we as a nation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We as a nation in the 1950s, we did not give women the appreciation that they were due, that they deserved. Is that wrong? Is that bad to say?
Actually, no. You're not wrong to say.
Okay. All right. Yeah, and also like apparently this Marilyn Monroe movie Blonde and the book is all about like what a troubled life she had and how it was all not all wine and roses behind the scenes.
Yeah, I've heard I haven't seen the movie, but I hear it's pretty rough.
Well, I know it's NC-17, and I think there's some. Obviously, there are some very explicit scenes, and I think her being assaulted and stuff. So it's like I want to see this. I can't really say I'm looking forward to seeing it.
It's going to be oof. Ooh.
It sounds like a harrowing view. Yeah.
Yeah. I hear you.
Anyway, so they're reading the fan letters to Marilyn Monroe, and like half of them are very hurtful, and they're like, "Yeah, dear whore," and James Nelson Johnson's character's like he's trying to make it better, and he's like, "Well, what if instead of whore we say the word flower?"
Yes, and then they say things, okay, dear Marilyn Monroe, you were born a flower and you'll die a flower.
Right. Not a fan.
Not a fan. Exactly.
Which I don't think people really said in the 50s, but whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, it's basically that. Just like letter after letter calling her a whore, calling her a dumb baboon.
Yeah.
Saying how her brains are in her butt and they like to kick it.
Yeah.
And
then Chloe Feynman going, "Oh, that wasn't very nice." I can't do a Marilyn Monroe voice. I'm sorry.
Well,
but she's doing that breathy Marilyn Monroe voice.
Like, yeah, just do like a Ginger Grant.
That was hurtful. Well,
that's a Michael Jackson.
Marilyn Monroe. I obviously can't do a Ginger Grant because Ginger Grant was doing Marilyn Monroe.
What?
That's not going to like suddenly unlock a Marilyn Monroe impression.
I didn't realize that until now, huh?
Yeah. Well, you didn't know that Tina Louise was doing Marilyn Monroe?
I probably knew. Yeah.
Yeah.
I probably knew.
Yeah.
If I thought about it, I probably would know. I would have known, but I was
right.
busy focused on other things as a young lad watching Tina Louise. And well, let's get back to the sketch.
Okay. Yeah. Nothing problematic said on this episode.
Nope. No.
Yes.
Nope. I think I stopped it right before I was about to.
Yeah, we're just screeching those brakes.
That's right.
So overall, I thought this was cute, but it was just okay.
Yeah, same thing. Not too much escalation here. I thought it was cute. It was an okay idea. It needed something else, and I think
we had Brendan Gleeson in drag, and I'm not made of stone. I can appreciate that comedically.
Yeah. It didn't feel like they really utilized him like in drag the way they should have.
What a good sport he was to just be in drag as a secretary for no reason.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
good on you, Brendan.
Yeah,
good on you, boyo.
I liked him as a host because he seemed like he was just a good sport and game for most anything.
Hey, he's a good mate.
Yeah.
All right. Now that's the last time.
Okay. All right. I don't believe you, but
as you shouldn't.
No, I've been burned so many times before.
So next up, headshots.
This is our new cast member Marcelo. He's getting new headshot. Was he playing himself in this?
No. This is Michael Longfellow's in this one.
Oh, it's Michael. Oh, I wrote down the wrong name. Forgive me. I'm still getting all the new people straight. So Michael Longfellow getting new headshots. Yay.
Right.
We got from Weekend Update last week.
Yeah, get your hands off me. I said, get your hands off me.
Yeah.
That guy.
That guy. And so he's getting new headshots. Andrew Dismukes is his photographer. He's got a lovely fake beard on for absolutely no reason, which I enjoy and endorse.
Mm-hmm.
And then Brendan Gleeson comes in as Michael Longfellow's grandfather because Michael forgot a hat. And then Andrew Dice Meeks takes one look at Brendan Gleeson. He's like, "Oh, I must shoot you," and he runs him through a photo session.
Yeah, a bunch of poses, tell him to do, cute shy boy,
Mm-hmm.
and it's basically just him doing silly poses, and Andrew Smith kind of egging him on,
Yeah,
while Michael Longfellow looks on saying, "Hey, is it my turn now?" And said,
yeah,
and Andrew Smith's like, "Shut up, you with your fat ass."
yeah,
And I think at one point he says, "All right, do a funny pose," and he like jumps in the air with his hands up and smiles. And Dismuke
yeah.
says, "That was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life, and I've seen Seinfeld."
Yes. You could really detect Dismukes' hand in this sketch. This sketch, by the way, written by Mike D. DeCenzo, Andrew Dismukes, and Jake Nordwind. So
Seems about right. And then, of course, and then like towards the end of the sketch, we have Colin Farrell once again popping in. And
what?
yeah,
Well, I did not see that coming, even though we already knew he was in the building because he made a cameo during the monologue. But
yeah, and then of course, Colin Farrell pops in for some headshots, and then Andrew Schmukes wants him and Brendan Gleeson to pose, and they pose together and doing silly poses, double cute shy boys
yes,
at one point, and like Schmukes
two
is like,
presidents meeting each other. Or
ex-
no, it was one person meeting the president. Uh, I forget the prompt, but yeah. Anyway, it was cute.
yeah, it was cute, and then of course, like Schmukes is so enamored by this, he has to get on his phone and says, "Hello, Tiger Beat Magazine. This is your cousin, Marvin Tiger Beat Magazine. You know that new sound you were looking for?"
Well, listen to this. I enjoy a good Back to the Future reference, and this was a good, funny, random Back to the Future reference. So
You put a Back to the Future reference in a sketch, you have my heart.
yes, exactly. I thought this was good. I felt like the performances really elevated this material. I Not that the material was bad, but I felt like the performances made it more than what it would be just on the page.
Agreed. Like I thought, like it was a little underwritten, even though Dismukes had a few lines, a few zingers that I did like. Aside from that, there wasn't much to say, so it was pretty much all just Brendan Gleeson and Colin Farrell like
Being silly
selling it.
sky boys. Yeah.
Yes, just hamming it up, and
Yeah.
that's what sold or carried the sketch. And
Yes. Agreed.
but yeah, either way, I did enjoy. I did get a hearty chuckle out of this, and of course,
Yeah.
Marvin Tiger Beat Magazine. I mean, how do you not smile at that?
Yep. As they might say on Danger Five, this gave me a sensible chuckle. So
Ooh, I like it.
yeah,
Okay, fair enough.
fair enough. So
And
yeah, this was good. This was a standout of the night, I think.
yeah, this was a good one. Yeah, so far so good. We're chugging right along on this show.
We're doing well. Next, we have another pre-tape from the Please Don't Destroy Boys. Missed them last week.
Yeah, where were they? We missed you guys.
I mean, I know they had their hand in writing a lot of the sketches from last week, but we didn't have a Please Don't Destroy short, and I'm sure they did something, but I guess it just didn't make it on the show for whatever reason.
Mm.
Uh, and this is like the Please Don't Destroy Boys, and they're new high school seniors, and they're all excited about their upcoming senior year. They're all in Letterman jackets,
Yeah.
and then Brendan Gleeson is playing their friend Tommy, and Tommy reveals that he's not 17; he's actually 67.
Yeah. He says like, yeah, I'm actually a 67-year-old Irish man. My name is Seamus O'Sullivan.
Yeah,
And they're like, "No, you're not. You're 17-year-old Tommy. You're Tommy. You're from New Jersey. You're Tommy Pork Chop DeCilio."
yeah. And they're all like, "What? No!" They had no idea.
Yeah.
Um,
And it
I,
said, and
I
they, yeah, and then of course they go back. It's like, "No, you used to drink with us after class every session." They're like, "No, like while you were drinking beer, I was drinking a glass of Scotch whiskey with one large ice cube in it."
Yes, yeah. Remember when we were in gym class, you were all self conscious about changing in front of everybody, and I was just like letting it all hang out like an old guy in the locker room.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's like, yeah, remember, like, and they're like, no, you're crazy, man. You took drugs during class that one time. You took LSD, and they're like, no, that was my blood thinner.
Yeah, yeah.
uh, yeah. So a nice, silly, goofy sketch from the
Huh?
PDD boys.
Yeah, it was very much in their voice. I thought it was very funny, well performed, well shot. Um, really liked it. It's nice to just see another Please Don't Destroy sketch. I kind of missed their voices.
Yeah, interesting. This is like one of the few sketches that doesn't take place in the SNL office, too.
Yeah, they kind of broke out from their usual setting. I think
Yeah,
this might be the first Please Don't Destroy sketch that is not in their writing room at the
yeah.
at SNL. I hadn't
They,
thought of that, but you're absolutely right.
they left the offices for this one. Wow.
Look at that! Look at that! I mean,
Look,
it's probably still shot indoors and stuff,
yeah.
but
New year, new season, new PDD.
oh wait, no, actually, Three Sad Virgins. That was at least
Yes.
partially outside of their office because
Yeah,
they
three
were
sad virgins. So this might be
the
the
second.
second one.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, look at that.
Yeah, look at our boys grown. They're all grows up.
It all grows up. They're going to be graduating high school soon. They're going to be going on to college.
Oh man, can I graduate?
Yeah.
Remember that song?
Vaguely.
Okay, that joke would have hit harder if you remembered it better.
I was like, I sort of remember the song you're referencing.
Third Eye Blind, man, come on.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, fine.
I mean, it's no do 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 do.
Oh,
Semi-charmed life. That's all I'm saying.
I want something else.
See, now that's going to be in your head for the rest of the day.
Yeah, it's one of the most danceable songs about heroin addiction ever.
It really is. It really
It's,
is.
it's a toe tapper.
I mean, in your face, Iggy Pop.
Oh, damn. That's right. You've been bested, Iggy.
Screw you, lust for life. There's a new king in town.
Take your million in prizes and go.
I really like that. That was funny.
Thank you, sir.
And speaking of catchy little tunes, catchy little numbers, we're up to the musical guest. We got Willow.
Yeah, we got Jada and Will's kid, Willow.
She's how old is she now? She looks like she's somewhere in her 20s.
That's very possible. I don't know. Like I remember when she was like a little kid, whipping her hair.
Yeah, she's the same one who did the "I Whip My Hair Back and Forth."
She is the same one that did the whip your hair back and forth.
Right, and I remember hearing that song back in the day, and I was like, "This is not someone I really need to pay attention to."
Well,
And then so I saw her on this. I'm coming to her pretty much cold. Solid song, man.
yeah, not bad. She's like really getting into sort of the, I guess, pop punk era, you'd call it, or something.
What was her first? I didn't write down the titles of her songs. What was the first one?
The first one I believe was "You're a Stranger,"
Okay,
and the second one,
Curious Furious,
that's the one.
Furious. Um, the first one, "You're a Stranger." I was really impressed with that song. I was like, this is a solid song. I honestly wished it was a little longer. I thought it was really well done.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's pretty solid. And I mean, I know like a lot of people when they hear like an artist or an actor or a singer who comes from famous parents,
Nepotism.
yeah, they're all like, this person doesn't have any.
Wonder how they got their record deal.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, I'm willing to, and sometimes I do that too. But I'm willing to admit, no, Willow is a solid performer.
He's got some chops, man.
Yeah, yeah. It was almost like a Avril Lavigne type of vibe she was going.
Oh, much better than that. I
Oh
think.
wow! All right, well, okay.
No.
But yeah. The first song,
Avril Lavigne, any day of the week.
damn, shots fired.
I was really impressed with her. The second number wasn't the Curious Furious. I wasn't as into. It's more of an industrial thrash type of song, but I thought it was really cool. I was like, I want to check out more of her music, man.
Whoa! Look at this! Look at you becoming a Willow fan.
I mean, I'm probably not going to. I'm going to forget about it as I do most things. But I had that urge for the length of time that I was listening to these songs.
For a brief moment, I considered looking into Willow Smith's music.
Right.
Okay.
And isn't that all that really matters?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I like this. I was pleasantly surprised. I wasn't expecting to be into the musical guest this week at all.
All
I
right.
just thought it was just going to be, dumb pop princess type stuff. But I was like, oh, this is cool. Yeah,
Yeah, far out, man. Wow, I'm
yeah.
so glad you like. I'm surprised. I didn't know if this would be up your alley or not.
I didn't think it would be, but it wasn't what I expected, and I was like, yeah, this is good. This is good. Yeah,
All right, fantastic. Yeah, I mean, she definitely came in like high energy. She was like, she
hmm
really gave it her all. Like, I
yeah,
can't. I mean, I can't trash her. I
yeah.
can't say
Got a
anything
full
bad
look.
about it.
Yeah, I'm interested. I wouldn't mind hearing more. I would if this were like Starship Troopers, and at the end of that they were like, "Would you like to know more?" I would hit that button.
Ooh,
Yeah,
hot dog. All right, you're doing your part.
I'm doing my part. I'm stomping those bugs.
Okay, so yeah, thumbs up for Willow. Two great
Thumbs up for
performances.
Willow. Yeah.
Check it out, guys.
Well, I know this doesn't mean much. Second episode of the season, but best musical guest of the season so far.
Wow, wow.
Yep.
Hi, Chihuahua. All right.
Damn with faint praise, but
Okay. All right. Yeah, and next up
good
we got
stuff. Good stuff.
yeah, all right, so and then let's keep it moving right along. We got weekend update. Jost. Jay.
Jay, I've heard of this segment. I've heard of this show segment.
Hmm.
They've occasionally done some funny things on this weekend update.
Occasionally. Occasionally.
Occasionally, occasionally.
Not bad weekend update. This
It was a decent update.
yeah.
I wouldn't say it like blew me away, but I think it was pretty solid throughout.
Yeah,
Uh,
Che had a few good jokes I liked, like about Herschel Walker,
yeah,
and of course his whole controversy about the abortion,
yeah,
and like he also mentioned how Herschel had a fundraiser where he raised over $500,000 because money is the only thing, or the one thing that Herschel is willing to raise.
yeah. That was good. That was good. I also liked his joke about the fellow with the eye patch, whose name I didn't write down. He was like, if you try to look at this through his point of view, it will be with little to no depth perception. Uh,
Yes.
Good joke, solid joke.
Yeah. Che also had another good joke about it being a National Coffee with a Cop Day,
Yeah,
and how he's sure most cops like their coffee with black with a couple of shots in it.
yeah, Ooh,
Yikes.
yeah. Not
Yeah.
wrong.
it's it's tough to hear, but it is a good joke.
Yeah, it's and then we had Ego come on as the Little Mermaid from the new production of the Little Mermaid, where the Little Mermaid is black. People are losing their shit over it, and and hilariously, I know some people on Twitter were like arguing like, well, it doesn't make scientific sense that the mermaid is black. I don't. I forget the rationale. I don't think I ever bothered learning the rationale. I'm like, is this an argument I need to read? No, I don't think it is.
Yeah.
Um,
It's like scientifically the mermaids can exist, but not black mermaids. That's
I
absurd.
will believe in mermaids, but I will not believe in black people. Is basically what these people were saying.
Oh god. Look,
Um,
is this where we're at, people? Is this what's going on
here's
now?
where we're at. This is a sad level we're at.
Oof.
So Ego comes on as she's introduced as Black Ariel, and she's like, "Yep, no, don't like that, don't like that." Um, it was a little weird though. Her monologue was just mostly about like why she's a bad person.
Yeah, I think it started off with how like people see her as like a hero and a role model,
Right,
and her immediately shutting that down, saying, "No, I'm actually a bad person. My parents are rich, and
right,
I shouldn't be idolized." And uh, just like bring up all these like she also says like how she's dumb and
yeah,
she hates the ocean. She's
yeah.
pro Sea World, and then she goes on and says she's pro war in Iraq because
Uh,
she believed in like revenge for 9/11. The audience got weird with that one.
yeah,
The audience
yeah.
was like,
And
"Oh,
she was like, "Well, hey, at least a few of you thought that."
yeah, exactly." And how she caused the BP oil spill, and just basically she just really like bringing herself down and trashing herself.
Yeah,
I don't, I don't know if this was the best way to go about this.
it was it was well performed. I just thought it was like a little muddled.
Yeah,
You know,
Yeah, it was like them just kind of bringing up things. Like I think at one point Colin brings up, "Oh yeah, shouldn't you be singing with a Jamaican crab?"
Yeah, it's
And
like I have crabs, but they're not Jamaican.
yeah, they don't. No, they are
They don't
Jamaican.
they don't sing. They don't
Yeah,
sing.
said
Yeah,
they are Jamaican. Jamaican me itch.
yeah. And then she
Hmm.
references her nuts.
Yeah.
She's a mermaid. Um,
Uh. Yeah. Hmm.
this is a really super minor point. I wish her mermaid tail had wagged a little bit. I wish
Ooh.
somebody had been flopping that around.
Oh, yeah, I could see that.
Like much like Devon having the steam coming out of the iron, I kind of wish Ego's mermaid tail had been wagging a bit.
Yeah, because that would have saved this bit.
That would have made the difference. I don't know. It just would have been like a funny visual, I think.
Yeah, I mean, look, I love Ego. I think she's fantastic, but yeah, I think the
Yeah.
material here wasn't there.
It was just, it's a little weird to me that they bring her on as the black Ariel, and because I feel weird saying African American Ariel because she's from Atlantis. She's not African American. Um,
Mhm.
and then she's not talking about the controversy really,
Yeah,
or
it's just
the quote unquote controversy, I should say.
yeah, it's just basically her saying why you shouldn't idolize her and how
Yeah,
she's dumb and a terrible person. And I'm
it's
like,
just a weird way to go with it.
it's a
You know?
very weird way to go with it. Like, I'm not sure what
Yeah,
the point of that is.
yeah.
So, like Ego, didn't wasn't a fan of this
Just
segment.
yeah, just kind of scratching my head over this one.
Yes, absolutely.
But I mean, it's nice to see Ego have a showcase.
Yeah, of course. I'm pro Ego.
Yeah.
Lego my Ego.
Next, we have another desk piece with Marcelo Hernandez, a new person on the cast, talking about baseball, basically doing a thing from a stand-up act.
Yeah, dude, there's no doubt in my mind. This is straight. I haven't seen his stand up, but I'm positive this is from his stand up.
It is okay. First of all, it's too well polished. It's too well rehearsed to not be a thing that he's been doing in his act for at least a year.
Yeah.
He knows every beat of this thing. He knows every little performance thing he's gonna do. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like this is his closer. He's definitely done this at the Creek in the
Yeah.
Cave numerous times.
Yes. Yes. This is his big closer. This is his thing. This is like
Yeah. So I mean, basically, it's like because it's baseball season or the playoffs, baseball playoffs. It's
right.
like him talking about because he is Latin American. He says his mother is from Cuba, his father's from the Dominican Republic, which
Right.
of course means that they're divorced,
Yeah.
and which is a nice little way to
I mean, it's a funny bit. It's a funny, well polished bit. He knows where all the laughs are. It's
yeah.
I just could I wasn't too into it just because I don't really care about baseball.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I thought this was okay, but like, I mean, I guess the one thing that sold it, like, he's very animated when he's
yeah,
describing.
I mean he gets up at one point. He's demonstrating how Dominican people are at the bat and they have a lot of hip action, and he's like sort of shaking his hips in Colin's face.
Yeah, he's very Sebastian Maniscalco.
Yeah,
Like,
I can see that.
I got strong Maniscalco vibes seeing him
Hmm.
doing it, and yeah, it's basically how the whole thing is like basically him talking about how white baseball players do this and Latin baseball players do this.
And
And
we actually had like Colin being like kind of setting him up for that, and he's like, "I know what you're doing, Colin. I don't like it." Uh,
like, but it's basically that. It's just basically like like
yeah.
white people be like acting like this. Black people, we do it like
Homer Simpson. It's true. We're so lame. Yeah. I mean, it's a well trod area in stand up. Let's put it that way.
yes, absolutely. Um, but overall, I thought this was okay. Like, I mean, I thought he really sold it. I thought he was really animated, and it was a good way for us to get to know this new cast member, see what he's all about, and
Yeah.
get a good sense of what he brings to the table. I thought.
Yeah. Got a feel for him. I would like to see a little more. The jury's still a little out for me, but
Okay, all right, fair enough.
fair enough.
Fair
Yeah.
enough. But yeah, I thought it was okay. I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
we're just doing black, white people act like this, Latin people act like that, but
Yeah.
it's like that was
Do
like,
you anything like that in your act? I don't recall you ever doing a bit like that.
no, I don't think I have anything like that. I have some stuff that kind of comes close, but it's not like white people crazy. It ain't like that,
Uh-huh.
but it comes a little closer to it, but not really. Just
Okay.
because I don't know, part of me thinks like, is that kind of, I don't want to say hack, but is it like kind of worn out at this point? But I mean, from
Yeah,
this,
I don't want to say that. Yeah, I don't want to go there. I
yeah,
say
but
like, oh no, you can't do that anymore.
yeah, I mean, you can do whatever you want as long as you do it
Yeah,
well and sell it.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
and yeah, I think
Like
Marcelo sold it.
you say it's hack or you say it's worn out, and then somebody comes along with a brilliant version of that, and they're just like, oh my god, yeah. So
Yeah. So yeah, overall, I thought it was pretty decent. Like he's a animated, lovable fellow.
yeah,
So
yeah.
you
We'll
know,
see what else he does.
yes,
So I mean, with new cast members, I kind of want to see them do something more than an update piece that's drawn from their stand up act.
right. I mean,
You can always spot those from a mile away, or at least I can.
right. I mean, I understand why they do that because it's from their act. Like you said, they've done it 100 times.
Right.
They're comfortable doing it.
It's a
It's
good way to get your feet wet on the show and establish yourself, and
yeah,
the audience to get a feel for you. I totally get it. I totally get it, and
right.
no shade on anyone who does that. I think I just got a better sense of like what Molly's about this week than I did Marcelo this week or Longfellow last week.
Mm.
You know?
Fair enough. Fair enough. I could see that.
Yeah.
Oh, and also like, so there's one more joke that was in here that Colin said that I actually wrote down because I liked quite a bit, where
Okay.
he says like, yesterday was National Vodka Day. Oh, so that's why my dad called me.
Well delivered. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
That was good.
it's a good one. Yeah, so overall, not a bad weekend update. That was better
I,
than last
I
week.
thought a decent update. Yeah, and I better than last week. How many segments did they split it into on YouTube? I didn't check. I watched on
I think it's
Peacock this week, so I think it was just three.
yes, Marcelo segment, the Black Ariel segment, and then weekend update was divided in half.
Yeah. Oh no, wait, no, we okay. So we've got four. We've got four, which is
Right.
about the upper limit of what we want to divide the weekend update into. I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay.
All right. Next we're getting towards the end of the show already. We're
Wow.
zooming through this.
Where does the time go?
I don't know. I don't know. This sketch, Blood Oath, and apparently, according to Reddit, it says that this was cut from the Miles Teller episode last week. So they they sort of they reworked it, they rejiggered it to work
Hmm.
for Brendan Gleeson.
Interesting. Okay.
Interesting. This, by the way, written by Mikey Day, Claire O'Kane, and Streeter Seidel.
Okay. Fair
Uh,
enough.
this is an episode of Ancient Empires. We got like some Viking Game of Thrones type people, and they're doing a new treaty thing, and they decide to uh,
Form an alliance.
form an alliance, and they're not what's the word they're marking this alliance with a blood oath. And they do that thing where they slice their hand open.
Right. Exactly. And yeah, these two tribesmen, the leaders of the two tribes, one played by Brendan Gleeson, the other played by Mikey Day. They're all done up Game of Thrones style.
But by the way,
Mikey,
kudos to the costume department. The costumes were freaking amazing in this sketch.
they look really good. Like I thought, like Chloe looked really good as well in her costume too. I
Mhm.
was like, wow,
Yeah,
that's a Halloween
they were
costume.
all really striking. I mean, the costumes. I mean, I guess they must have made them for last week. If this got cut from last week and it made it as far as dress,
I guess so.
so
I guess
yeah,
so. Yeah. So the two leaders of the tribes form a blood oath. They cut their hands.
right,
Brendan Gleeson's character cuts his hand. Mikey just gives his hand like a little pinprick. They shake hands, and
right.
then it turns out Mikey said, "Oh no, you didn't have to cut your hand, just like a
Yeah,
little
and,
scratch."
and Brendan Gleeson is like, "Oh, I cut my hand way deeper than I was supposed to because we don't do blood oaths in my tribe." And
Right,
so he's got the blood hose up his sleeve, and it's just like spurting everywhere, and it's squirting everyone in the face, and everyone's like and coming close to breaking.
right.
Um,
It's basically like Dan Aykroyd as the Julia Child,
right,
just
right.
blood everywhere.
I mean, it's basically just the visual gag of the blood spurting everyone, and especially spurting everyone in the face, and,
Yeah,
and it's a cheap gag, but hey, it was funny.
yeah. Like once I saw what it was, I was like, all right, I'll just lean into the silliness of it.
Yeah,
There are a couple times where like Brendan like literally just shoots Mikey right in the face, which is
He is like aiming for people.
yeah, like a
And,
super soaker.
yeah, Mikey got the worst of it. Keenan got a decent amount on the side of his face. Chloe got, I think, just a little bit. She was still like very startled, and I kept expecting Chloe to get like another big shot of the blood squirted at her. She seemed to avoid the worst of it, though.
Yeah, but there were a couple times where she got it right in the face, and she was like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah,
Like, I mean,
yeah.
she didn't say that, but she could tell she wasn't ready for it.
Right, right. And I mean, a sketch like this, it's all dependent upon the visual of it and the squirting of it, and you can never precisely plan how it's going to go. I thought it was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Like I said, it's a cheap gag, but it was funny. It was cute. It was amusing. Costumes were amazing.
yeah, I like this. Same, I'm same with you. Like, I thought it was like, oh, this is pretty. Yeah, so far the show's chugging right along. We're already better than last week.
Yep, yep. Let's see. I did give the writing credits for that one. So move on to the last sketch of the night.
10-1.
10-1, and because it's 10-1, it's time to get out the weird stuff. And when I
Oh,
think weird, I think Sarah Sherman.
oh, this is all the weird.
This is
Talk,
called Eyes.
mhm.
Written by Sarah Sherman, Dan Beulah, and the Please Don't Destroy Boys.
PDD.
Yep.
Yeah, so it takes place in an office. It's 4 people. It's Michael Longfellow, Bowen, Sarah, Brendan, and Ego, and they're working in seems like an advertising agency, and they're trying to come up with a new slogan for the city of Denver.
Yep.
They're tossing around ideas, and then we noticed, though, while this is happening, Sarah suspiciously has her head down the whole
She has her
time.
head down even when she has lines. She doesn't like raise her head. She's sort of covering her brow with her hand. So you're like, okay, something's up. It's Sarah Sherman. She seems to have the main part in this. It's going to be something weird happening with her face. And when she comes up, she's like, I got new eyes and nobody commented on them. And
we see Sarah with giant googly eyes, like kind of terrifying actually on her face.
Because it's not just like she's stuck them on top of her eyes. No, like the SNL makeup department has done a thing, like they've shaped fake skin around, so it's like it looks like googly eyes have been implanted in her, and she's like, oh, they told me I could hang on to my old eyes and this could be reversible, and then she's like, oh no, but I forgot to keep them on ice and they've been in my pockets all day for 72 hours.
Yeah, like
Pulls eyeballs out of her pockets.
yeah, and she's like, "Can you guys smell my eyeballs? Are they still good? Are they still good?" And yeah, it's just wow, what a weird sketch.
It's funky, kind of like the last sketch. It's based mostly on the weird visual of Sarah with googly eyes, which worked. I kind of wish, because they're on a real person, they're not moving around as much as you might expect.
Yeah, I mean, they'd move around a little bit. I think even Sarah kind of moves her head around a little bit to get them going.
Yeah, because for googly eyes to really work, you need to kind of, I guess, rotate in a circular motion so that the eyes go around. But because they're on a real person, they're just kind of pooling down at the bottom.
Yeah, so you kind of have to like do a little Dennis Miller head swivel.
Right, cha-cha. Yeah.
Hey, get the googly eyes moving there, cha-cha. Eh?
I'm like Marty Feldman on a bender.
Yeah, I'm like the Greek philosopher Euphrates there with I don't know. God, that was horrible.
Yeah, I just went with an eyeball reference. I kept it simple.
That's why you're the king.
Yeah. That's why I'm the impression king. Yay.
But yeah, like I mean, I like this sketch just because it was just so weird. Like
I enjoyed it. The last half of it, I'm kind of wondering. I'm like, okay, so can she see it all? Is she reading cue cards in some fashion, or did she have to memorize all her stuff for the? Because I know nobody memorizes a full sketch on SNL.
No, it could get cut at any minute.
Yeah, and they could rewrite it between dress and air, and yeah, it's just a fool's errand to do. So she must have had some sort of pinpricks in there that she could see out of, because like towards the end she gets up and she walks at the door and I'm like, okay, she's walking way too smoothly
yeah,
she has to see in some fashion.
Yeah, which is weird too, because they did establish that her character, when she put them in, the googly eyes actually made her vision worse.
Yeah,
She can't see as well.
yeah.
It's, but as far as the actual googly eyes that they put in her face, I think if you go to like the SNL Instagram, they show the prosthetic mask they put on her face. They do,
Uh-huh.
and there is like a small hole in
Yeah,
there, so I believe she can see.
because I was like, she'd be bumping into way more stuff. I mean,
Yeah,
she wasn't even like, she grabs the doorknob and she opens the door, and like, if she really couldn't see, she'd be feeling around for that. She
yeah,
wouldn't
like
know where to go.
yeah. I mean, they make a point to say that her vision isn't that good. Like when she's like, "Well, I'm," as because like when everybody's, she takes like everybody being weirded out by her new eyes as an insult. And it's like, "Well, that's it. I quit. I'm out of here. I'll
Right,
take my portfolio." And she just grabs some crumb cake, and then she said, "I'll
right.
take my jacket." And she like pulls down the curtains from a window and just
Yeah,
so like she can see. It would have been funny if she like really stumbled a little bit and. But again, I guess she doesn't
yeah,
want to
but
like.
I don't want her to get injured.
Yeah,
I don't want her to get like hideous bruises on her hips or something because she's bumping into tables and water coolers and
yeah.
stuff.
Hey, if you want to get that sketch, you got to break some eggs, right?
I guess,
You
sure.
know, are you willing to get bruised up for your art or not?
I'm 50, so no.
Oh. Yeah, that's right. You're not willing to do the work.
Yeah, no, really, no.
I'm really not.
I'm really not. Whatever I can do, just lying down. That's my energy level now.
I mean, well, there's a dirty joke that I'm about to say, but I won't say it because I'm a gentleman.
Okay,
Hmm.
all right.
Okay.
And that was the show. That was the last sketch of the night.
Yeah. Ended on a strong note. I think. I think I probably liked the sketch a little bit more than you did, but yeah. I mean, just the visual of Sarah Sherman with googly eyes, giving
Oh,
out ideas for taglines for Denver, like Denver, City of Angels.
I like that they stumble on a good tagline at the end. I thought that was a decent tag for the sketch.
Right, absolutely. So,
I thought it was cute. Yeah, and it was cute and it was weird, which is what you want in 10-1 land. So I thought it was fine. I thought pretty solid show overall. I at least sort of liked everything they did.
yeah,
Nine, I think is a really good batting average for an SNL app.
yeah, I would say there weren't too many sketches that I outright hated or
Yeah,
really disliked. I mean, and it had, I mean, the uh, the advice given to the new cast members to pre-tape. I thought that was a solid one.
yeah, that was
Um,
far and away the best sketch of
yeah,
the night. But I
S-
mean,
eh,
everything I liked at least a little. I didn't
yeah,
think there was anything that really stunk up the joint.
yeah, like the headshots sketch I liked, googly eye sketch I liked. I think, and the host Brendan Gleeson I thought was pretty solid pick.
I enjoyed him. He's charming. I wouldn't mind seeing him come back and being like a Christopher Walken type host. He's just one of those hosts that's like just out of left field. But I thought he did a really nice job.
Yeah, like I hope SNL does this too in the future, where they choose like really out of left field
Yeah,
cast, or people or to host a show. I mean,
someone
not like Elon
respect
Musk out
host.
of left field, but like
Yeah,
people who have acted before.
yeah, yeah,
Just like character actors, people you wouldn't think of, people who aren't trending or have something, or like have a huge
yeah.
presence or a huge household name.
Or a huge project, or is an actor, or is famous, or is just grab a random person off the street.
Yeah.
That's what we're saying.
Yeah, or maybe a podcaster. Have a podcaster host a show. Like maybe
Have two
somebody,
podcasters host a show.
yeah, maybe two podcasters who are talking right now. How about that?
Yeah, two podcasters who are talking, maybe one at a time, and then the other one talks for a bit. If one of the podcasters could host the show while he's just like lying down, like totally in a prone position throughout the evening, that would be nice.
Yes, let's have that other host like host a show lying down, like on a stretcher, like Hannibal Lecter style. You could just like
Yes.
wheel him from sketch to sketch.
Oh, that's the dream. That's the dream.
That's the dream.
And
Just
maybe the other one does a surprisingly good Irish accent.
oh, hey, how are you, there, boy? Oh, hey, sweet
Wow,
Rosie O'Grady.
downhill from the beginning of this episode.
Wait, what?
That Irish accent went way downhill from the beginning of this episode, my friend.
Yes, I could only do it for like certain amounts, like 10
Okay.
minutes at a time.
All right. Well, most sketches are only about 5 minutes, so I think you're good.
Nice.
If you just,
Yeah,
retain your energy.
absolutely. And that's the episode, guys. Not a bad show overall. Definitely a step up from
Such relief after last week, because last week was pretty disappointing. So this one,
yeah.
this feels like what the premiere should have been.
Absolutely. Here.
I mean, last week I was like, oh geez, I don't know, is the whole season gonna be this good? This was fun. I really like this. So,
Yeah, I mean, it's like I had a feeling this would be better, just because, like I said last
Yeah.
week, the first episode of the season's always a little wonky. They're getting their sea legs back,
Yeah.
but like once they find their footing, it usually it gets better. It gets
Stella
better.
got her groove back.
Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go.
It's
Hey now.
they went to the Caribbean. They picked up Tay Diggs.
Mm-hmm.
They had sex. I presume. I've never seen that movie.
No, you got it. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. Apparently, though, the real life story that movie or the book is based on is like the guy turned out to be gay and he was just romancing her so he could get into the country.
Oh my.
Yeah,
Huh.
it's a yeah. Like Google that. Google the real story behind how Stella got her group back, and
Yeah.
it is a roller coaster ride.
Not as romantic as you'd think it would be.
Well, it's all in where you end the story. If you end the
Yes.
story at the right time, very romantic. If you continue past that point, not so much.
Every story has a happy ending if you know where to end it.
Exactly. Sandman. That's a thing. That's another thing I got to watch on Netflix.
Oh yeah, people are telling me, should I watch that? I don't know anything about Neil Gaiman or any of it.
Sandman is an amazing comic. You should definitely read the comic. I haven't watched the show yet either because it'll let the Netflix lapse. But I understand that the TV adaptation is a very good and pretty faithful adaptation. Neil Gaiman was very heavily involved with it, and he gives it the thumbs up, and he's very happy with it. And some people on Twitter were losing their minds because some of the characters' races changed from the comic.
Oh no!
I know. It's
first they came for my mermaids, and I said nothing.
yeah,
They came for my Sandman characters.
yeah. So yeah.
All right. Well, I'll give it a look. See, I'll see what's up with that.
Give it a go. So I mean, okay, I know the material that they're adapting it from, and it gets very dark. I will give you fair warning; it gets very, very dark.
Oh.
So
Okay.
go into it knowing that.
I'll ask my parents' permission before I watch it.
Yeah, that might be good. I mean, just be prepped, gird your loins.
Okay. All right, fair enough.
Yeah, it goes some places.
Okay. Oh boy. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah. And that's our episode, guys. Actually, you know what? Before we close out, let's go on to Twitter, see what the people tweeted at us about this.
Well, yeah, I mean, we had several people who left some comments that we asked for. I feel like, it would be nice of us to actually read them.
Of course.
Yeah. So let's see what we got here. We got our friend Boardman gets paid at the Lion.
Yes.
He Lion. I'm so confused by this. I know he told us how to do it properly, but I don't remember. Anyway, Boardman gets paid. Says, "Good morning from the now vacant eye holes on Sarah Sherman."
Yikes.
So I had no idea who the host was, but by golly, was he charming. Great episodes, loving the cast's energy. 5 stars to the show and you guys. And
thank you.
A peace sign.
Thank you, sir.
So,
and
thank you, Boardman. That was very nice.
And we got another tweet from Burton S92.
Before we say that, I'm just going to say, if you want to give us 5 stars, please go to the podcaster of your choice and give us a 5-star review, because that does help us out.
Yeah, please. 5-star reviews all the way. Let's
5-star reviews. And if we do that, we'll read that on the podcast.
Yeah, I'll even read it in a better Irish accent.
He will have time to recharge his Irish accent.
That's right. Oi, boy, oh. 5 stars there. Oh.
Yeah, it'll be much better than what you're hearing now.
Yeah, it will. Well, I can't promise that.
Okay. Well, it'll. The odds are it'll be
Yes.
anyway. You're about to read from Burton S. 92.
Yes, Bert Ness said, Brendan Gleeson's a great actor, but my takeaway from the EPs are thankfully more about the newer cast. Marcello's delivery in its update piece was strong. I love the goofiness and escalating grandeur in Sarah's 10 to 1, and the pre-tape with our newcomers was the high point.
Yeah. Agreed.
Couldn't agree more.
Our friend Mikey with 2 E's, he has some opinions. He says, a decent cold open followed by a slow-paced monologue left me thinking this episode wasn't going anywhere. Opposite to last week, though, I thought it actually got better as the night went on. Agreed. Strong weekend update, especially Marcello, and a decent Please Don't Destroy pre-tape. Then he continues, enjoyed Dismuke's sketch, which had strong Will Ferrell vibes. I can kind of see that.
Mm-hmm.
And the new cast sketch, Molly reminded me of Melissa McCarthy. I can see that.
Mm-hmm.
The 10 to 1 was flat out bananas from Sarah. Overall, a step up from last week, and good to see the new cast actually getting a decent bit of screen time. Yeah, I mean, I like that. I really like that they consciously gave the new cast members a showcase so we can kind of get the feel for all those folks.
Absolutely. It seems like everybody got a little time to shine. I'm hoping to see maybe I kind of want to see more of Devin Walker to see what he brings, but he's been in a few sketches here and there, but I still don't have a good grasp of like who he is and what he brings to the table. I'd like to know more about
I
him.
wonder if he's going to get an update piece on next week.
I wonder.
Because I mean, he's also stand-up, so he probably has some bit from his act. He's like, I can put this on national TV and then retire from my act and
Nice. That's right.
and establish me on the show.
Yeah, I could see that happening next week. It could definitely happen.
We will see that. That'll be our unofficial prediction for next week.
That's right.
So we'll see. And will we look good or will we look foolish? I don't know.
I think we'll look foolish either way. That's just our brand.
We probably will. We'll do some dumb stuff. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, and that's the episode, guys. Thanks so much for listening as always. And next week, we got Megan Thee Stallion, host and musical guest.
Yep. Double duty.
Mm-hmm. You said duty. So
I did.
I'm a child.
So
we'll
see where that goes, and then it's a skip week, and then we have the dates for most of the shows because like Sean White on his Twitter posted a picture, and behind him was the board.
I think he might have deleted it too.
Oh, did he really? Well, too late. I already downloaded it and used it to plot out our plan. After November, it's SNL's off for like 10 weeks. It's crazy time.
Oh boy! All right,
it's going to be like we're going to have like a little mini summer vacation there.
Well, looks like we got some movies to plan to watch.
We've got to plan a lot of movies.
Yee-hee.
So if you have movies you want to see us cover, please hit us up on the social media. You can find the show page at SNL Nerds Show on Twitter, and you can follow our individual pages. I, for instance, am at Trumbull Comic. That's TRUMBULL and the word comic on Twitter and Instagram.
And I'm at Darren Credible. That's DARIN Credible, Twitter and Instagram.
Mm-hmm. He's at both places. Oh,
yes.
He's Mr. Big Time. Neither one of us is on TikTok because, we were born in the 70s.
Yeah, I feel like if TikTok is not for me, it's like me going to inside a Hot Topic or something like that.
I feel like if I joined TikTok, I would be put on a list somewhere.
Yeah.
And rightfully so.
Yes, absolutely. My phones would be tapped. I'm sure like Chris Hansen would walk in and be like, hey, what's going on there, fella?
What's going on? And I'm like, I wasn't even meeting anybody. What the hell? I just signed up for a TikTok account. Okay, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, step this way, sir, please.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so anyway, that's it for this week. Next week, we'll be back with Megan Thee Stallion. Well, she won't actually be here with us in the podcast studio. Maybe she will. Who knows? Maybe she's going to be hard up for things to do on Sunday after hosting a musical guesting on SNL. And she'll be like, I want to be on a podcast about the show I did last night.
Oh, that would be a get.
That could totally happen. Yeah, she's going to reach out to us.
Right.
Megan, yeah, feel free. Hit us up on the socials. We just gave them to you.
Holla at us, shorty.
Open invitation to Megan Thee Stallion, or hey, anyone who's on or involved with SNL in some fashion. Yeah, we want to interview more people.
Absolutely.
That would be fun. Anyway, yeah, we're going to do that, and then we'll do that next week. But until then, nerds out.
Nerds out.
This has been a non-productive media presentation. Executive producer Frank Hablawi. This program and many others like it on the Non-Productive Network is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives license. Please share it, but ask before trying to change it or sell it. For more information, visit Non-Productive.com.